This is me, around 13 or 14 years old. The rest of these photos are also throughout my teenage years. A lot of photos I don't recognise myself. I've not aged much. There are different qualities of myself. How I dress, how I present, how I look in general. And everybody gets this. We either look happier in our teen years or sadder or just different styles. We all have this. But this is a little different. This is not about my evolution of aging. This is about my gender identity journey. All of these are me, but I don't recognise myself. The following footage are from diary entries and from Autistic Ways of Gender and my coming out story video.
I am autistic and I identify myself as cisgender but also unsure.
I've always been fascinated with the androgynous nature of gender. What are the lines of gender?
Lately I've been questioning again. I'm not sure why. I don't know, these things always come out of nowhere. I feel disconnected. I feel like I'm an other. I feel that I'm not a set thing. I feel in between. I don't feel what I'm assigned to biologically. I've also looked at past photos of myself and everything from the mannerisms to the expression and my presentation is different. And I know it can just be age as well. I also feel like there is a feminine and a masculine in me, but I couldn't put it down in one thing. I can't. I love absolutes, but I can't put these in one, and I can't. It just doesn't fit. I feel like the grey area works well for me. I've been thinking about this for years, and no, I've not been influenced by the special snowflakes and the Tumblr people, and I mean, who uses Tumblr for things anymore except for trash? I know many people that identify with this label that don't make it a big deal and just live their lives. They are them. They are them. They are their person. And they are not parading it online. They are not crying every time someone misgenders them or uses the wrong name. People only now know the name because it fits them, and that's why they choose the name. They don't choose to be non-binary. They are already non-binary. They just didn't have a name for it, or they used to use genderqueer. But genderqueer has basically been pushed aside. I remember 10 years ago I seen the word genderqueer and was like, what's that? I didn't think of it as non-binary, and I didn't make a big deal of it. I just left people to their devices. I wasn't active in the LGBT scene at the time either. But I wasn't against any of that. I was just an outsider observer. I have a side of myself that's considered masculine, and I've had it for years. I've had it for a long time. I don't show it to many people. I don't tell many people. I'm only being very transparent about it because it's relevant to me. Maybe one day I'll let it out, and it's gonna make me seem like a weirdo, but yeah, I don't care. I've been questioned for ages. And my sexuality journey was different. Sexuality and gender are not the same, and people who treat it as a personality and that it's not. That's stereotypes, and you're enforcing them. And people are going to have some traits to that, but that's not because of the sexuality, that's just them. It's real. And the fear is part of it. And it's no fun. I didn't ask for this. Who does? I just keep panicking about it when I see gender stuff right now. It's really scary. I'm panicking. I'm really panicking. It's definitely an empty. It feels empty now. Maybe something should be there. I was right. If you do look at places like Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, be very careful because there's a lot of misinformation out there and there's a lot of diversions and tracks you shouldn't go to. Be careful when you search on Google. Be careful online in general. I mean, online's a great haven. There's a lot of safe spaces and safe havens and communities. It's fantastic. I found plenty of various communities and I felt welcome. But there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of bad communities, and there's a lot of nasty people. So you have to be very, very careful. Wish me luck.
Well, it's that time again. Oh boy. I am non-binary. I am part of the trans umbrella when it comes to gender. The trans flag has trans male, trans female, and gender non-conforming / non-binary. Non-binary is an umbrella term of its own. Non-binary is outside the binary. There is bigender, which is both male and female, agender, which is none, and gender fluid, which is dependent on how you feel on the day or in the situation may apply. For me, I am a mixture of both male and female. Non-binary is gender outside the binary, so gender is a spectrum. I feel that inside I'm neither a man nor a woman, and outside my biology is a mixture of the two. I feel like I have masculine and feminine qualities in my body, despite being an AFAB, which is assigned female at birth. I do have a biological female body, but I feel like how my body biologically presents itself can be a mixture. I have facial features that can look masculine and feminine due to genetics. I also produce a lot more body hair. Non-binary people transition, but not like male to female. It's more of a transition to, as I call it, neutral. A lot dress more androgynous. A lot get on hormones to either have a slightly more androgynous look, where maybe it's a bit more masculine, but not necessarily masculine or feminine. My gender expression has been getting to that androgynous stage, but I think I've only started doing that around 5 years ago and only been fully aware of it a year ago. Gender non-conforming can be confused with non-binary, but non-binary is your gender is outside the binary, but it also counts as trans is because it doesn't match your birth sex. This is the next step of my gender discovery, and I wanted to share it with you guys. I did share it with personal friends and family first. They really needed to know because I got to the point that I couldn't hide it anymore. My pronouns, people close to me can have she and her, but I would prefer everyone else to have they, them. I feel like it represents me as my neither male or female mixture of the two self. It works so well. It's nice being gender neutral. There's just something comforting about it. And you can be what you want, where you want. You feel like yourself. And even though I do still have dysphoria, I'm finding ways to combat that. Like example, my chest, find a binder. I respect those with or without labels. We should all respect those who pick their choices, find their identities, respect their pronouns, respect their beliefs, respect their decisions, and I am I, you are you. Doesn't matter if we're in or outside the binary. Please respect us. Please learn about us. Every day is a school day. Thank you for listening.